Hello my friends, my name is Artur Rehi.
Let's go.
I'm here with a soldier whose code name is Junior, and can you tell me first a little bit about yourself before we go on? What did you do before the war?
So my code name is Junior. Before the war I was doing a law degree in Ireland, and then I think the first time I tried to come over was during the beginning of the war, but unfortunately I had some problems with my passport, which I couldn't come over with. Then once I got all that sorted, I was going to apply to the Irish Army. I went through the physical test and everything they had there, and was going to go into their basic training of what here is KMB, Kurs Molotov Oblica, but applied to here, got in, came over here, and now I'm joining 3rd Assault Brigade.
I can hear, I was thinking about, I can hear a little bit of that Irish. Yeah. A little bit. I was thinking, you're Ukrainian, how is this possible?
I tried to get rid of my Irish accent. I love it, but when communicating with the guys here, they need to hear me properly and understand exactly what I'm telling them to do. So I tried to kind of tone down my Irish accent.
Talking about being a pirate.
Yeah. Trying to tone down my Irish accent so they can more or less understand what I'm trying to tell them.
And do you have a law degree already, or?
No, I didn't finish it.
Oh, you didn't finish
No. In the process.
And the 3rd Assault Brigade, if they know you have this skill set of understanding law, would they try to use it, or just still infantry?
Possibly, yes. There's many opportunities with 3rd Assault Brigade. They're a very big brigade. They have lots of opportunities and lots of different places. If they see, they kind of disperse people where they see them most fit. So if they see me most fit in a law kind of degree, they would send me there. If they see me more fit in some different position, they'll send me there. They do what's mainly best for the brigade and for the person itself. They don't only care about themselves.
So when the law career was stopped because of this war, do you miss it, or do you now think you have found your new calling?
No, I prefer being here a lot more.
Yeah.
I find, this may sound silly, but I found a lot of peace when I came here. It's a lot more relaxing, a lot more nicer, and in general I enjoy it a lot more. So I'm a lot more happier with life here.
It is a very bizarre and strange answer, actually, coming from the West, one of the happiest and most wealthy countries in Europe, coming to the war zone, fighting for your own country, and you found peace. I love that answer. Yeah.
It's, how do you say, of course there's dangers to everything you do, but me myself, I found here more peace and kind of a happier well-being, if that makes sense. While being over here with the guys and meeting all new people and whatnot.
Can I ask about your rank?
Soldier.
Do you have a girlfriend outside of the army?
Yes.
And how often you get to see her?
Not often.
Not often at all?
No.
Can she come and visit?
She can.
Okay.
She can.
Yeah.
She should be visiting in a couple of months, so.
In a couple of months?
Yeah.
Okay,
so fingers crossed.
You're fighting this war, but you're also fighting another war.
Yeah.
You think that?
If you get into a relationship and you take such decisions, you need to talk this through with your partner, and your partner needs to understand of what you're doing, why you're doing this, what are your motives, and then both of you go from there. I was lucky enough with my girl, so she understands why I'm here, what I'm doing here, so it's pretty nice.
Any Any advice? When I went to the army, most, like, let's say 10 couples for 100 people, 8 out of 10 couples broke up in the army. So how do you keep it going? What methods or?
Well, first of all, this might sound like very generic, but literally communication. You have to talk all this through beforehand and explain to her the situation. If it's not meant to be, try to break it up before you get in, because it's too much unnecessary stress and unnecessary feelings while you're here. It's like you already have enough shit to worry about, and then you have like that extra bit that really kills you. So try to talk about it beforehand, get it all sorted, and kind of get on an even ground, and then try to communicate as much as possible. Yes, you won't be communicating like on a daily basis every like 20 minutes. Sometimes you maybe even be communicating like once every 2 weeks for like 30 minutes, but your partner needs to understand this, that this is what you're in, this is the reality you're in, and all she can do right now is support you.
So we're in this training trench right now, but we didn't actually come here to just look at this training trench. We were making an interview before, and then an alert siren went off, and everybody who was training around us, the groups, the medics, whatever they were doing, they were running to the shelters, and we came here to the trench. So is this what we saw other people doing, running away? This is the generic response to the air alert?
Yes, so each kind of group has their own trenches that they built, and they're supposed to go to their trenches where an air raid starts, because your trenches are supposed to be strong enough to withstand anything that's coming in, more or less. Again, if they're going to send something that's going to create like a 15-meter crater, but generically, if anything more or less comes, you'll be extremely safe in your trenches.
So nobody wanted this trench, so we got the weakest trench.
No, the rest of the guys, they went down to another place that we have for people to go down and secure.
Okay, and they will wait there until may the force be with you is over?
Yeah.
Okay.
So until the air raid is over, the guys are in their designated area waiting. Once the air raid turns off, they come back and do just renew their training.
This is really a hindrance to the training when you have to spend like 2 hours a day now.
Unfortunately, yes, but again, this is kind of reality for us. We rather be safe than sorry, if that makes sense. Rather stop our training for those 2 hours than possibly have a bunch of guys that were killed.
Yeah. And how at night it's the same procedure?
So like this morning, I think at like 4 a.m. an air raid started, and then it finished at around 6. So we got up at 4, came here, waited till 6, got back in our rooms, slept for like 40 minutes, and then went to morning PT.
How early do you have to wake up here?
Give or take 7 o'clock.
Okay. I will do a hypothetical situation. Let's say Russians are pushing from that side, only in the trench, not outside. They're pushing, they're throwing grenades. Our position is here. How would you react in this situation?
Well, I'd first have to assess how much people I have on this area. I would really take advantage of the corners and the little dugouts we have around here, which can come in very useful, and we can make a very nice choke point for them over there. Since we built these trenches, we know them inside out. I know that, let's say Russians are coming in through there. From this position here, I have a really nice angle to throw grenades right into the kind of position we have, like an X position over there, which will create a choking point, and I can regroup my men and create a more formal way of a counter-offensive to push them out. Or if that does not work, we would have to retreat.
If you have, let's say, a whole squad lined up behind you, and you know like there's 5 to 6 or a squad of Russians, would you split your squad and try to flank them, go outside of the trench?
Yes and no. Again, it's very situational dependent. If we have incoming fire and we know that the enemy has machine gun nests, possible snipers working from that direction, I would not want to take the risk of taking my men and just throwing them out there. But again, I would disperse them throughout this blindage just in case of possible grenades, shrapnel, incoming mortar fire. but again, we would just kind of disperse and go from there, but stay in the trench for now.
How do you, it's all situation you said, of course, but how do you take decision whether to push back, throw grenades, push or retreat? What do you take in account in this situation?
Well, it goes down to more or less like you would have fire superiority. If you have fire superiority, you do want to push the enemy out. If you don't have fire superiority, you either want to A, establish it, or B, plan a retreat. That would be kind of the main way of looking at it. But again, since this is war, it's a battle, anything can happen. Like from all we know, like artillery can land in the Russian side of our trench, and just like this we can have fire superiority again, of which we will have to act very fast.
So it's, if you are the squad leader, you take decisions like
Yes.
like this. It's not like, oh, cover here, I'm going to think, right?
No.
Take them like that.
It's very on the move. It requires a lot of critical thinking, because it's not only your life at stake, but also your friends, your brother's lives at stake.
Okay, and if it goes down to just exchanging fire, either side is not moving, you take the decision to stay and maybe try to push. How would it start? You establish a fire sector and start throwing grenades one by one?
You would use a combination of small arms fire and grenades. Again, it would go down to tactics training and what we do here right now at base, of how we go through these situations. We usually go through these type of scenarios 2 to 3 times a week, if not more. But it all depends on what tactics your group has gone through. Because if it's just a bunch of guys who've never met before and they don't know what they're doing, you want to get out of there. But if you went through these scenarios with your squad and you have a plan already beforehand of how you deal with these situations, you will go with that plan. So let's say I have like me plus a few more guys, and we know that we can take over, we can make a kill sector more far back and kind of push them to that kill sector, we will do that. But again, it's very situational dependent.
How many, if you know you're going to assault a Russian trench that you know through and out, it's your built trench, how many grenades would you take with you?
As much as possible.
As much as possible?
Yeah.
That would it be up to 10?
I know some guys take a minimum of 3 and then all the way up. I know that on some positions, the guys who are on the defensive and holding positions, they have a few boxes of grenades with them.
Entire boxes?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I remember there was a story not too long ago from 3rd Assault Brigade of how a dude threw out 2 boxes of grenades in one night. It's quite popular, but yeah, it all really depends. You want as much grenades as possible, because anything you don't see, you kind of want to throw a grenade into, because first of all, you don't want to take the risk. Second of all, your life and your brother's life is a lot more worth a lot more than just some grenade.
And these grenades, if you have a guy, for example, who has a very steady and nice aim with the grenade, would you have him throw all of the grenades?
Anything further away, yes. Yeah. But if it's like from here to a blindage that's like 2-3 meters away, it's hard to miss.
Yeah, but when you're I was training with the grenades, you throw it, lands here, and
yeah,
it's possible, yeah.
It can, but again, we go through training for all of this in polygon and other stages.
I know this is very Hollywoody, but I want to break this myth. How often you pull out this knife here and you go? You put it between your teeth and you're like Rambo, you know?
To pull out a knife and use it, you first have to lose your rifle, lose a pistol, lose your grenades, not lose your knife, and then find someone else from the other side who also lost his rifle, lost his pistol, lost his grenades. So it's very unlikely.
Every Monday, yeah.
Very unlikely to happen, but a knife is a lot more useful for other things than actually going into fight for. Okay, they're very multi-purpose. Cutting stuff, opening cans. If you have someone who's wounded by shrapnel, you can cut up their clothes, because I know lots of guys don't carry shears with them, they carry knives. all depends on the person, but there's a lot more uses to the knife than just going at it with someone.
But let's say you liberate a Russian position, you overrun it, they go away or they get eliminated, and you find a box of Russian grenades, Russian weapons, and Russian food. How would you use it? Would you use it?
You would be very careful with what you do once coming and what you touch, because again, as we've seen from previous assaults, everything can be mined. So what you take and what you use needs to be thoroughly inspected and thoroughly thought through, because we're fighting kind of an even worse. So when they retreat, for all we know, they could have put an armed grenade into that box, and as soon as we open that box of grenades, it can go off. So you have to be very careful with what you do once you, let's say, capture a Russian position.
Most of 3rd Assault Brigade is fighting with Western rifles, or?
Yes and no. We're integrating Western rifles into our brigade.
So if you fight with the rifle, you run out of ammo, it might happen, and there are Russian rifles. Would these troops get the training also for
Yes.
enemy weaponry?
Yes.
Okay.
So what we're all trained here with is an AK-74 platform by 5x45 by 39. That's what we're all trained with, because even if, let's say, you have an M4 and it goes down on the front line and you have the option of picking up an AK, you'll pick up that AK and use it for the rest of the assault. Like, just because your rifle goes down and there's another rifle there doesn't mean you should stop your assault.
I understand most of the troops are not issued pistols.
Yes, it's mainly for medics.
And if you find the sidearm, it's like a trophy, right? You can keep it? Or?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
You do anything you find or bring back, you do have to declare to your command.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yes.
okay. If it's a really nice looking pistol, you will probably have to give it away.
Yes.
Oh, damn it.
I mean, it's not less that, but I mean, like, we're not like pirates. How do I say this? Like we have it. Yeah, we don't come there to loot. We come there to free back Ukrainian land.
Of course. Well, thank you, Junior, for giving the information in the trench. And
no problem. No problem.
Hey guys, I have now signed my contract and successfully went through training. Now I'm in Donbass with 3rd Separate Assault Brigade and currently performing tasks with a strike drone company, successfully pushing back Russian invaders that came to take away the freedom from the Ukrainian people. If you are a foreigner and would like to join the ranks of 3rd Separate Assault Brigade, I recommend you follow the link in the description and fill out their questionnaire. Slava Ukraini!